So today we're going to look at a couple of things that deal with author's craft, or how writers do what they do and why they are doing what they do. So the first paper that you're going to look at is multiple organizational patterns. And so we want you to see that writers purposefully organize their writing in different ways. And how those different ways can impact what they're saying. So it'll depend on what they're talking about as to how they organize their ideas. So one of the ways is problem and solution. So a problem is identified, and then they provide a solution to the problem. So you can look at, as you're reading, are they identifying a problem? Are they offering a solution? And along with that, there are signal words. So you can understand these words, learn these words, and know that these words are usually going to identify a problem and a solution. Same thing, cause and effect. The effect is what happened, and the cause is why it happened. So if they're talking about why something is happening and what exactly happened, you're probably looking at a cause and effect. Okay, the cause and the effect of what happened. Again, there's signal words for that. Since, because, as a result of, the outcome, those sort of words. Order of importance is that the most important ideas are presented first, followed by the less important ideas. And that's done because really a lot of people don't have a lot of time, and they may skim an article or a work, and so they'll see, okay, I get it, the most important things, and if they don't read all the way to the end or don't read the second or third page, all that they miss are the less important ideas. So order of importance is another way they can do it. So the signal words there are first, most importantly, next, of less consequence. So writers sometimes use more than one organizational pattern in the same text. Once in a while, they do so to develop their thesis or controlling idea and to incorporate different kinds of supporting evidence. So these organizational patterns can be used throughout an entire essay or work of literature, or they can be used like just within a paragraph. So my point 1 might be a problem and solution. My point 2, which is another paragraph, might be a cause and effect. And my point 3, a different paragraph, might be the order of importance. So writers will sometimes mix it up that way. So you have to, if you're being asked questions of organizational patterns, you're going to have to look at the piece as a whole and then look within each specific paragraph. So what you guys are going to do is underline the key words, most important, and then determine which of the organizational patterns is being used. Okay, and you're going to write that on the line. So, but definitely underline any keywords that you see, or circle those or highlight those. Okay, on the back of this one, you're going to have a longer piece, and it's going to ask you questions about what we talked about. First paragraph, which organizational pattern? Paragraphs 2 through 4, which organizational pattern? And then the other part of the question is, how can you tell? How can you tell? Well, definitely look for these keywords, because that's a way that you can tell. Or you can tell that, it clearly states a problem and it clearly states a solution. So that sort of thing is what we're looking for in complete sentences. Okay, so that's the first handout. The second one is linear and nonlinear plot development. So this is dealing with like Briar Rose, and we're going to look at a more modern version of that same fairy tale later this week. So when we look at this, every plot is a connected series of events, and we know that. And usually, especially in fairy tales, it's really linear. It's like first this happens, then this happens, then this happens, then the end, and everybody lives happily ever after. But a lot of modern writers who retell things use something called nonlinear plot development. So the plots jump around. And so you guys are somewhat familiar with flashback and foreshadowing. They can also start in the middle of things. They start right in the middle, they jump in, while it's already happening. Especially fairy tales, it's pretty easy to do this because people are so familiar with the stories. Okay? Understand that there are two kinds of conflict that drive linear and non-linear plots, and those are external conflict. So the characters are struggling with outside forces. Okay, so in fairy tales, that means that, the Wicked Witch is out there and they are trying to get to our main character, or an internal conflict where the characters are struggling with their own conflicting thoughts, needs, or beliefs. So that's that internal struggle of what should I do, how should I do this. Okay, so you're going to read an excerpt from this fairy tale, and then you're going to answer these questions. Does it start in the middle? Is it a flashback? What do wizard's words seem to foreshadow? So you're going to identify the language that the author used that help you understand that there's a foreshadow. What internal conflict is suggested? So again, answer these in complete sentences. On the other side, you're going to look at two stories. One from the Brothers Grimm, which is the same that we read. Briar Rose was a Brothers Grimm story. And this is just an excerpt from The Frog Prince. And then a little excerpt from a modern retelling of A Frog Prince. Okay? And again, answering these questions in complete sentences. But hopefully starting to understand and look for in your writing where there's linear and where there's non-linear plot development. Because the non-linear plot development actually often makes our reading a lot more interesting. Okay, so you're going to complete multiple organization patterns, linear plot development, and then if you have time, read those Lit Circle books. All right, thank you. Have a good day.